All right, people, what is going on? Good morning, once again. Happy Wednesday. This is episode 272 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller back with you guys again. We got some news to talk about, some possible change of the guard when it comes to the NFC South. We're going to talk about all of that. Once again, Georgia Southern football, I'm going to touch on that a little bit. Not much is going on there, but I do want to throw a little tidbit stat out there that I saw earlier today that I really want to talk about. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on that Georgia Southern stat. But first and foremost, I want to thank you guys. If this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I'm VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern football and Atlanta Falcons football. And there's going to be a lot of Atlanta Falcons stuff today. Like I said, I do have a tidbit of Georgia Southern news I want to talk about real quick. A little stat that I think is really interesting. But nevertheless, thank you guys for coming through. If you're here, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're on the YouTube side of things, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're on the podcast side, you guys can also subscribe over there. So anytime I put up a episode, you guys could, you'll get it right away and you can download it. Be your own program manager. I put these episodes up every morning, but if you decide to listen to it whenever, that's the luxury of having that option. So that's always awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and just jump right into this. You already know how the NFC South is right now. The NFC South is all over the place. There's already been rumblings about Sean Payton possibly stepping away from the Saints, and it was actually official as of last night. You look at it now, they have no coach. The year before, they lost Drew Brees because he retired, and there's $77 million in the cap space. We also have Tom Brady contemplating on retirement. So those are two things that are going on right now. First and foremost, I want to talk about this guy right here. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a picture of Tom Brady and his family. Beautiful family, I might add. And, Tom Brady beat my Atlanta Falcons. They beat him after we were up 28-3. And I remember that night we was living in the other house, and I knew what was coming. I was looking at this. I was like, once we missed that block and Matt Ryan fumbled that ball and the Brady and them got the ball back off that fumble, I knew what was going to happen. I was hoping that our defense could stop them at least one time. We get one stop in the fourth quarter, it's over. But we couldn't do it. And that's when I declared, me personally, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. And I was a Joe Montana person. I love Joe Montana. I still love him today, but the things that Tom Brady's done is just amazing. At the age of 44 now, he's won another Super Bowl since. I think he won two since. I can't remember. I don't know. I done lost count. But he's won one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They went out kind of bad this year, considering they did try their best to come back. Outside of the comeback, it was more of a it was a little bit more of a beatdown. And he's contemplating retirement. And I'm looking at this article right here. It's on Yahoo Sports, and he said that he said two things. One, on the Yahoo Sports one, he said it pains his wife Giselle to see him get hit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as wives, spouses, especially the wives, because I'm a married person. I'm a married man, and my wife does not like to see anything happen to me. She doesn't like it when I'm sick. She doesn't like it when I have to work late. She doesn't like it when I'm doing all kind of dangerous stuff. She really worries, and just like any other spouse would. And this is a dangerous sport, and him at this age, he take care of his body, but him at this age, there's things internally that he can't do anything about. There's, some form, and I don't know his body, but this is just nature. Bone structure, internal organs, joints, ligaments. You can do all the working out you can, but at some point, those things show their age. And you don't know what kind of hit you may take. You don't know what way you may step. You don't know how your body reacts if you run or you throw or you extend your body. You just don't know. Now, I don't think it's going to happen to Tom Brady or anything like that. I don't think like no freak accident or anything. But you have to keep this stuff in mind when you are up there in age. Anything could just say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And for his wife saying that it pains her to see him get hit, one of those hits could do it. And it could be just a regular tackle or whatever the case may be. Anything could happen. But when you're at that age, your body is much working out, type of eating that you do, all the type of stuff. Those things, like I said, your internals, they're going to show their age. Your joints, your ligaments. I mean, it's just natural. It's going to happen. So we don't know. He don't know. He's done the best he can to take care of his body, but you just don't know at that age. But so that's one factor of him thinking about, possibly stepping away. The second thing, and this one is really important, I think. Tom Brady says he's vowed to be the husband and father to Giselle and his kids deserve. Now, I don't care how much you love your job and you want to do this, that, and the third. It's nothing like family. It's nothing like spending time with your family. No matter how much money you make, no matter all the money in the world that you can acquire, it doesn't matter. All the things you can buy for your kids, those type of things you can't put a price tag on. It's like one of the reasons why I value coming home every night to my wife and son, because no matter what salary I make, no matter how much I'm sitting in front of this microphone, those times where you just sit and just spend time with your family, those are priceless things that you can't put a price tag on. You can't, you can't get those moments back. And the only thing that you can do is make those memories to have and cherish for the rest of your life. With him playing football the way that he's playing, he's kind of robbing them from that. And it's not like robbing in a bad way, like, oh my God, he's like deliberately hurting them or whatever. No, he's like really taking that time away from them. And yeah, football is awesome. Football may be awesome to them, but when you look at this picture, and I love looking at families, no matter the color, nationality, or creed. But when I see a family, two adults getting together, having, with their kids, and you see that collective, that collective family, I don't even know the word to use, but when you just see that family, that nucleus together, it's a beautiful thing. And, and I think it's kind of unfair for him to, play football, because that's a year-round thing. It's kind of unfair to them that he does this. And, I get it. He loves the sport. They may even love it as well. But when he says stuff like this, vows to be the husband and father that his wife and kids deserve, there's already been rumblings about this. And it's not, maybe not between him and his wife. It's just probably internal. As a man, that, hey, man, I need to spend time with my family. But I'm worrying about this, this game plan I got to work on. I got to call Bruce Arians. I got to call Mike Evans. I got to get with Rob Gronkowski. I got to call Leonard Fournette. Even when he was with the Patriots, okay, I got to call, my fellow teammates, and we got to work on this. Wow, tell his wife, I got to go. Tell the kids, I got to go. I got to do this. I got to do that to work on, trying to win another championship. I don't think it takes anything away from her to the point where she's like distraught about it, but he knows, you know your spouse, and when they're like, hey, it's cool and all, but when she's lacking, attention, when the kids are lacking attention. Hey, all the stuff I have up here, all these video games and stuff, I had to fall back a little bit because my wife, I know when she just wants time, and some of the, and it all goes back, before I close with this, it all goes back to just time. That's all that your family wants sometimes, just the time. They don't want you to be, a superstar, GOAT quarterback. They don't want you to, be like this, brilliant mind when it comes to the sport of football, or they just want a dad. They just want, she just wants a husband. And, I don't care what anybody says. Y'all can sit here and look at this through the rose-colored glasses of football, but sometimes real life is real life. And this type of thing is real, where it's like they just want their family together. So this is why Tom Brady says what he says. Now, if you want the link of any of these two articles that I got, you can go ahead and hit the link down in the description on the on the YouTube side. I would try to put the link down in the description for the you guys on the your podcast side of things too, so you can read them if you haven't already. But that's real. And that, I'm not even talking about that going beyond, not just talking about sports. I'm just talking about just life in general. If you're a truck driver like I am, if you're just, you a delivery driver, you work a late night in the office, your family just wants you. And that goes for moms too. Your family just want you. They just want the time. Before I go to the next topic, you'll be amazed how much 25, 30 minutes with your family a night will do. Sometimes, your spouse, that's all they want sometimes. But, I'm not going to go too far on that. It's just something to think about when it comes to Tom Brady. And this is something he's contemplating, and I'm not mad at him. I mean, I kind of understand it. If you like this content, hit the like button, share this video. If you're on the YouTube side of things, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you are on the podcast side, go ahead and hit the 5-star rating, subscribe so you can catch up on all the type of content I put up, and every time I put it up, you'll be notified, and in some cases, it'll automatically download for you so you'll be ready to listen. All right, let's get into this guy. Who is this guy? If you're looking on the I keep saying that. If you're listening to this on the podcast side, you would know that, you should know that I have a picture up of Coach Sean Payton. Let me tell you about this guy. I don't have much respect for this guy because he disrespects my team so much. Now, I will respect the fact that he has, in some ways turned around a franchise. I always commend people for the fruits of their labor. If they done a good job, you may be my rival or whatever, but I will tip the hat if you were able to, turn things around. It's kind of similar to what I said about Cam Jordan for the Saints. I don't too much care for him as a football player, but I do respect the fact that he went to a franchise that literally had nobody as far as their their legacy goes, and he turned it around to make a legacy for himself, so he stands out in an organization, and he done a really good job of it. I respect that, because some people, you don't find people to do that when you have a franchise that are just like down at the bottom or whatever, what the case may be. So that's pretty cool. Sean Payton is stepping away from the New Orleans Saints. He says coaching is not on the table right now. He doesn't know what's next. But I feel sorry for the Saints. I really don't. But they don't have a quarterback. Sean Payton is gone. There's $77 million in the hole in cap space. Then they got like another $30 million or something in dead money. I don't know what I know it's 76 million in over the cap. And I'll tell you, that's probably the reason why Sean Payton left. He realized that, hey, Drew Brees is gone, and I don't think I could do this with the quarterbacks I got now. We are in cap space hell. I'm getting up out of here. And, I get it. Him and Drew Brees got together and created something pretty cool. I hate to say it, but they did, something pretty cool. They won the Super Bowl, even though they were still kind of mediocre at times with the 7 and 9 seasons. They made themselves relevant after only having 7 winning seasons prior to Sean Payton getting there. And, you tip your hat to that. But at the same time, I don't care for them. Personally, they can go back to the bottom of the NFC South or the NFC basement for all I care. It's just, with this being said, in the Tom Brady situation, he's possibly stepping away, which I'm not really sure if he will. There's a disruption in the NFC South. The Falcons, if Tom Brady steps away, the Falcons got a really good path to obtaining the NFC South. Do you want to do it this way? Well, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing you could do about it if they, these two prominent figures in the conference, in the division, decides to leave. It's not much you can do. They have a good path if that's the case, because you have some stability still with your quarterback, with the new coach, with the new GM. You already have 3 picks in the top 58 of the draft. You can move up in a really good in a really good way in a really short amount of time. But the thing is, you're going to have to get this right. Matt Ryan's window is still closing, regardless if it's a rebuild or whatever the case may be, whatever they do, his window is closing. So this is, even if Tom Brady decides to stay, you still have a chance to disrupt the NFC South yourself, because I don't see the Saints doing anything at this point. I mean, they may bring in a coach that'll be, formidable. They may be able to do some things, but with this cap space situation, and I really feel that I don't think they'll find a coach on par with Sean Payton, I think they're going to be in trouble for a while. They're going to be in trouble for at least 3 years, in my opinion. It's going to be really hard for them to do anything. But with that being said, even if Tom Brady comes back, the Falcons still can find a way to win this division. And I'm serious when I say that, because even though the Falcons were inept on pretty much all sides of the football, we did play somewhat competitively for the most part against the Bucs. That first game was kind of wonky because of all those pick sixes at the end of the game, and the last game could have been a lot better if we would execute a little bit better. We got a pick six off Tom Brady. We was able to make it something at halftime. But you have to find people, you have to find pieces, you have to find, type of schemes to actually be respectable. Because if you can split one of those games against Tampa Bay, you're in good spirits, or you're in a good position for the division if possible. Now, the Panthers are still around. I think they got Bob McAdoo as their, offensive coordinator or something. That's a whole nother story I want to talk about another time. But when you look at this, Tom Brady possibly retiring, Sean Payton is gone, which he'll probably end up coaching somewhere else. But the fact that's just irrelevant. The fact that he's not in the NFC South is a big deal. So the door's open. The door's not wide open. If Tom Brady decides to walk away, the door's wide open. But the door's open now. You don't have to worry about two of your nemesis in front of you at full strength, or I ain't gonna say full strength, but you don't have to worry about them at the capacity that they used to be, because the coach is gone. Drew Brees has already been out already, and Tom Brady could be walking away. Because if Tom Brady goes, who's gonna be the quarterback for the Buccaneers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, who's going to be their quarterback? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they'll probably try to find somebody, and there's a stopgap. But I think they drafted somebody. I think it was the kid from Florida. I want to say, was it Kyle Trask? I think I don't know. Whatever the case may be, whoever they trot out there, and if it's not Tom Brady, it's going to be a whole different ball game. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. You're going to really see Bruce Arians try to coach, and Byron Leftwich, and they're talking about him. He's probably leaving as well, and I don't know how well his acumen is as a offensive coordinator or a head coach, but that's another story for another day. I don't know where this is going to go for Tampa Bay if Tom Brady walks away. Sean Payton is gone already. They got a bunch of cap space that they got to worry about. Taysom Hill, I think they signed him to a pretty big contract. I don't know how long the contract is for Jameis Winston, and they got Ian Book, Trevor Siemian. Man, look, without Sean Payton and his genius ways of running the offense, that's going to be really interesting to see who they bring in, because they're going to have to bring in somebody that's going to be even close to what Sean Payton can do. And I don't think they can do it. I mean, as much as I don't like Sean Payton or whatever the case may be, I do respect the fact that he knows how to move the football downfield. Can they bring somebody else in to do it? I doubt it. Even if they did, the cap space is just ridiculous. I just don't know how they do it. So with that being said, once again, this all ties into the Falcons or whatever the case may be. It's really, really funny how that plays out. And we'll see how that goes. Before I go, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I did say I was going to bring a tidbit about the Georgia Southern Eagles. So before I close, I want to say this. I saw this on Twitter, the transfer portal. The G5 school with the lowest number of portal entries since August 1st. Georgia Southern only had 3, and one of them withdrew. Now, that is extremely impressive because of the fact that the whole situation with Chad Lunsford and the change of coaching, the whole Gavin Adcock situation, all that went down. You would have thought that there would have been a fire sale at Georgia Southern where everybody's like, hey, you want to come play here? Have at it. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's running off. I thought we was going to lose. There was at one point, I thought we was going to lose about 20, maybe 25 players. And I'm not joking. I thought we was going to lose a bunch of players. Some former players thought that too. We thought we were going to lose a bunch of players. I don't know what Coach Whitley did. He did a phenomenal job keeping these kids together throughout a downtime. I mean, there was at one point, I think it was at like 4-game losing streak. These kids stuck together. 3 people decided to hit the transfer portal. I get it. I'm surprised that it's not more than 3. I thought it would have been 5 times more than what we had into what we have now. I thought it'd be like I said, anywhere between 20 to 25 people players just leave. Because Chad Lunsford was a very likable coach, very likable. I like him. I still do. But it just I'm really impressed how this played out. So Georgia Southern's, we already talked about this. Those guys bringing a lot of guys back, a lot of seniors, 6-year seniors. These guys are coming back, and that is really, really nice to see. It's good that we only lost a few people, and it's kind of like we're just reloading for the next season. In Clay Helton, I trust. Hopefully he'll be able to continue to do this and make something of this team, make something of this program, turn it around, and put a new wrinkle on this program, because this program is already as prestigious as it is. It's time to build a new chapter. We can't be resting on our laurels and resting on what we did in, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, and even in the teens with the Sun Belt champion. We need to start getting back to where we're always in the conversation. It looks like we're in the right space. We're in the right direction to do so. So shout out to the coaching staff, the former coaching staff, and, the new coaching staff. Coach Witt as well for keeping this together, because there's only had 3 and 1 person withdrew. So it's only really 2 that actually went to the transfer portal after everything that happened. I'm actually surprised it's not 20 plus. It's really cool. All right. That's going to be it for me. I thank you guys if you made it this far. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And hopefully you enjoy your Wednesday. If you like this content, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, share this, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're on the podcast side, look for that 5-star rating and click it, man. That'll be awesome. And if you don't think it's a 5, give it a 4. And subscribe as well. And anytime I upload a new episode, which will be around 9 o'clock every morning, you will be notified. And or if you hit the right tab on some of these podcast apps, it'll download it for you automatically. So that's always awesome. All right, y'all. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow morning. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.